the king, he's going to ask you what you've done in your body and in your mind. What have you done to help somebody else or bring somebody else back? It will not have anything to do with your spouse or who you're in relationship with. So we have to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. That should be a desire that we have as godly people, that we want more of Jesus and less of us.
Oh, yes.
And we want more for him to work in us and to move in us and do the things that he wants to do in us in order for him to be glorified. Which takes us to our number 3. See your singleness as a way to bring God glory. 1 Corinthians 7, 34 through 35 says that and his interests are divided. An unmarried woman or virgin is concerned about the Lord's affairs. Her aim is to be devoted to the Lord in both body and spirit. But a married woman is concerned about the affairs of this world, how she can please her husband. I am saying this for your own good, not to restrict you, but that you may live in a right way in undivided devotion to the Lord. These are God's words, not my words. These are God's words. And what he is speaking here is that you have the opportunity as a single to give God glory in whatever you do, whatever situation you find yourself in. You have a decision to make today. You know, if you're going to choose God over man, or choose God over being in a relationship, or choose God over being married. If you are a single Christian, you can easily develop a full devotion to Christ because you don't have the distractions of taking care of a husband that can be considered a distraction. Your time is not devoted to another person who needs you need to meet. Of course, if you have children, you have to devote your time to them. But at a certain age, they become independent and you don't have to give them that much time. But therefore, you can use that time that you would be spending with your spouse to spend with God. You can give God glory by allowing him to know that, God, you are important to me. That this relationship that I'm in with you is important to me. That I consider you my man. Mm-hmm. Because you are the one who has stepped in and intervened and showed up in my situation like no man can. And because of that, I'm going to give you glory for that. I'm going to give you praise. I'm going to worship you and let you know how much I appreciate you for being the God that you've been in my life, for being the man that you've been in my life. The scripture says, early in the morning will I seek him. Meet him early. Give God glory by meeting him early in the day, by ordering your day. Let him be the first thing on your mind and give him glory for allowing you to see another day. You can give him glory by worshiping him in a way that shows him that you love him as much as he loves you. You can give him glory by being attentive to your character and who you are. So when you go out, people will see him and he will be glorified, not you. You can give him glory by not falling for what they say, the okie doke. Mm-hmm. You know that joker that the enemy is sitting by to talk to you and say things to you, and they got your mind all messed up, and you thinking that, hey, this is my Adam, this is the one that God has sent to me, and I don't care what nobody say, I don't care what my mama them say, I don't care, I love him. You got to be able to recognize that joker. You got to be able to recognize the enemy in the tricks that he said. He don't have him looking real good, y'all, but you got to be in tune. You got to realize and know without a shadow of a doubt that this is the one that God has called to set apart. And don't think that God won't give you that information, because he will. He will give you that information. He'll make it plain for you. He'll lay it out for you. I'm going to tell you, and he'll do that for you if you're not even saved. I'll tell you what happened when I was in a relationship with this young man over here. I was also in a relationship with somebody else. Amen. Because when I was growing up, my aunt was older, so you know she had experienced a lot of things, and it wasn't that she actually sat down and told us a lot of things. You know, it was just little things that I would pick up on that she would say. And I remember her always saying that you have to get what you want for you, and that 9 times out of 10 you got a man, you ain't the only woman he got. 9 times out of 10. So you have to actually keep your guard up to a certain point until you really know this. And so what I learned from that is that, you know, shoot, I'm going to be a player too then. I can do it too, shoot. Now, it took me a couple of men to go through in order for me to get to that point in my life. Because I just got tired of being dogged out. I was like, that last and that bro that I was in that relationship with, I'm not going through that no more. I made up in my mind, and see, that's what it is, women of God. You got to make up in your mind what you want. Right. What your standards are, what you will stand for, what you will take. You have to make up in your mind for that for you. And so So what happened was, you know, I was dating both of these guys, and the other guy, he was tall, slim, and light-skinned. And then we had, he ain't short, but medium build, medium slim, and dark-skinned. Okay, the other guy had a Z28, which is that two-seater, nice and everything. And this one just happened to have a Datsun 210. The other one would only let me drive at certain times. You know, it wasn't no, you know, that I could have a car at night. You know, while he was at work, I could only drive during the daytime. Couldn't nobody see me driving. So, but this one, he'd give me the car and he'll get a report that, man, I see your car and it had like 10 women in it. I done picked up all my girls and he ain't said nothing, you know, just take the car, just take the car. But I was saying all that to say is that I had standards, and my standards it wasn't that I was concerned about the material things. It was that this one treated me like the queen I was, even though he had men and women, even in the same neighborhood, because he broke down in the neighborhood one night when he came to see me when I was getting in the car with the other guy. I saw him, his car broke down, and he over there talking to another girl in my neighborhood. Who does that? But at the same time, I didn't say nothing because I'm getting in the car with another person and everything. But I'm saying all that to say is that you have to have standards.
That was a mess.
You have to find ways for you that works for you, the things that you got to do for you. And now that you're a Christian, the things that would give God glory, the things that would bring God glory. Don't you know how pleasing it is for God to look down upon a single woman and see how committed she is to him? Or the single man and see how committed he is to him? These are the things that give God glory. You can give him glory by women of God by preparing yourself. And that means your appearance. That means that you're always appropriate and appealing and without being too sexy, but yet at the same time showing your sexy. You know what I mean? That means that you can't go out in the street, you know, with rags around your head. You just don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't walk around with 400 rollers in your head. Driving around like it's okay.
Help us.
You can't say that you was just going to the grocery store and you still got your pajamas on and your bedroom shoes. And you ain't even put a bra on.
Lord.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You can't just walk around with your face all straggling and got all this stuff on your face.
Right.
Like you just got out of bed. You've been up 4 hours, but you look like you just got out of bed and you're going to go over to your girl and they're going to be trying to holler at your girl and stuff.